All right, for this video, we're going to check out the new quiz feature in Canvas. If you haven't really used Canvas before, honestly, this is probably where I would just start anyway. Classic quizzes are awesome, but new quizzes has a lot of great features. So I would probably just start out learning there. And for those of you who have been using Canvas, there is a way to convert your classic quizzes into the new quiz features if you want, or pull some of those questions. And I'll put that link on the bottom of that Google slide page. So into new quizzes here. So this one I am going to call, I'll call it the body systems quiz. I'm just going to make it 5 points for now. It doesn't give me, I'm just keeping it in assignments, doesn't give me the option for the quiz there. And you're going to leave all of this here, and you're going to go ahead down, put in your due date, and then hit save. All right, so here is my body systems quiz. I can change the title at any time. I can add specific instructions right here. I already went ahead and created a multiple choice. This is probably the easiest. So when you are going to add a question, it'll ask you, and I'll show you in a minute what you want. And I picked multiple choice here. You can pick like a little subject heading if you want, and then type in your question. You'll list your answers. If you want, you can give feedback. Here's a sample of a feedback that I gave. So if you want to put in some feedback for the wrong questions, that's fine too. I did these shuffle choices because I want them all to move around. I don't want it always to be that the first one is the answer, that femur is going to be always at the top. I want these answers to get shuffled around, and that just cuts down on cheating. And then item banking, this is a really nice feature. So I don't have a bank created. I don't think I do anyway, but I could click add to bank, and then that would put this question in a test bank that I could then pull from later. So that is how you create your simple multiple choice questions. So really nice feature. But now let's add another question. So another question that we could maybe want to do is, a lot of times people have worksheets that are matching. So you could actually turn this into a quiz. Instead of having the students do it in the worksheet, you could just use your Canvas features. So I will also call this one anatomy, and I'll go ahead and type in a question. All right, for this one, I did a matching. So the students learned about different diseases and disorders as we went through each system. So they're just pairing up the disease with the correct system. So you can add distractor question or answers, because they will have like a drop down to pick. And so this is going to be, these 4 right here will actually be the possible answers in the drop down. So if you want to add an additional one that is false, that would distract them, you could add that. You can shuffle the questions. Again, I always like that one, and you can bank that question if you want. So we'll hit done on that. And at the end, we'll do the student view so you can see how all of these end up looking for the student. We're going to go ahead and pick another one. And this is an interesting one. We're going to do hotspot. Scroll down to this one. So for hotspot, you want an image. So you're going to have to drag and drop your image. So I found an image in my computer, and I have A, B, and C pointing to different bodily structures. So what I can do here is ask them a question, and they would actually have to click on the A, B, or C for the answer. So I'll show you how that looks. All right, so here I have them click on the correct letter that is pointing to the thyroid gland. And so I'm actually going to take this oval. I could do a square or an oval, and it's going to be right here. So I'm just going to kind of circle around here. I'm just going to do that again. There we go. All right, and again, I can bank that question, but I'm going to hit done on that. So what's going to happen is, and we'll see this again in the student view, If the student goes to C and clicks on it, then that would be correct. And actually, if they click kind of on the edges, it would. But if they clicked here, it would not be correct. Although, if you had a picture where you just wanted them to click on the anatomy, that's fine. But this can work really great with maps. You can use this for maybe math with different graphing features. So there's a lot of possibilities with hotspots. All right, I'm going to add another question, and one that I really was interested in was categorization. I thought this was going to be pretty cool because we do a lot of this with our graphic organizers. So again, here's a possibility where you could take something that you had students do in a graphic organizer and do it as a quiz feature. Okay, so for this one, I just made 2 categories, muscles and bones. I just have 3 for each that I added as answers. You could add more. You could add another category if you want to add a 3rd category or a 4th one. You can also add distractors where, again, they don't fit anywhere. They're just kind of distracting the students. And then again, you can bank that question. So I'm going to hit done on that one. And then the students will move, they're going to be down here under possible answers, and they're going to drag them. So we're going to see the student view in a minute. All right, it's time to add another question. So I'm only going to add one more. There's a lot of different options still here that we didn't try, but a lot of them are kind of self-explanatory. Just a little side note, file upload is what the students would be doing. They would upload a file that you would have them do something and then upload it. And so just so you know, that's what that one is. Essay is where they would type into a text box. And fill in the blank is one that I didn't use a lot, but I think I'm going to give that one a shot because I think there's a lot of uses for that. So we'll go ahead and get a fill in the blank done. Okay, filled in the blank. I put the little title here. I have instructions for the students. Type in the correct word to make the statement true. And then it says type a statement, and I put arteries carry blood away from the heart. Now it says select text and press enter to create a new blank. So I am going to take the word away, and that is going to be my blank spot. Now, how do you want Canvas to grade this? So it will grade your fill in the blank, but it's going to ask you, okay, anything that has the word away. So they could put like a whole big paragraph, but if the word away is in there, then it's going to be a match. Close enough. So if you have like a misspelling a little bit, exact match. Exact match includes spaces. So if they put an extra space at the end of away, or they put a space and then typed away, and they can't have any misspelling whatsoever. Specify correct answers is when you have more than one blank. So if you have, let's say I had arteries carry blank from the heart, and I want them to have blood and then away, or maybe heart. Arteries carry blood away from the blank. So if I had 2 blanks, I would obviously want them to fill in away and heart. So specify correct answers is just letting you know that, like for that first box, it has to be the word away, and for the other one, it has to be the word heart. So sometimes, maybe in particular for math, x equals 5 and 3, it could be in either box. So that one would really be when you have more than one text box. And then regular expression match is, that's what I'm actually going to pick. It's only looking for the word away in there one time, and it doesn't matter if there's any spaces. It's just looking for that the away is in there. So I'm going to pick that one. And then again, I can bank that, and I'm going to hit done. All right, now we're going to check out our quiz through the student view. So I have my 5 questions in there. So we'll go to student view so that we can see this. And we're just going to hit preview up at the top so that we can get into the student view on how this is going to look. And let's just take a second. All right, so here's how our quiz is going to look for the students. The largest bone in the human body question, the drop down, to matching. And again, you could, if we had a distractor, we could put a wrong one in here if we wanted. Pick the correct letter that is pointing to the thyroid. So they would actually go over and pick which one and click it. And the categories, so they'll actually move these to the correct category. And then here is where they would type their answer into the text box. So I think that looks pretty good. And when they're done, they would hit that submit button at the end. So that looks pretty good. I'm going to hit return. And then now we have the body systems quiz in here. All right, one other thing is when you're in here, you also have the settings option, and this is really nice because now you can shuffle questions, which I love. We already know that we can shuffle those answers. If you want, you can add one question at a time. So students are just focusing on that one question. That is not a feature that I have really enjoyed because I've had students hit the submit button too early and I have to go back and reopen their quiz. But, you know, again, it's up to the teacher. For me, it just didn't work out so well. You can have a student access code, a set time limit. You can allow calculators. You can allow multiple attempts. And then when you allow multiple attempts, you can say how many. If you hit limited, you can have a waiting period before each attempt. And you can restrict their result view. So you can decide what they can see and show them. If you want to show them what they got wrong, you can show them item feedback. You can show them what their selection was. So you have a lot of different options for showing them their results. So when you're all done, you can also go and look at reports. So at the end, when the kids take the quiz, you can do an item and quiz analysis. You can see which questions were really an issue for kids. And if you linked your outcomes to it, you can also do an outcomes analysis. And moderate, I don't have any students in here, but this would have all my students listed for the course, how long it took them for the test, and if you need to do adaptations or modifications, you can do that. You can award different students additional time, additional attempts. That would be into this moderate button. So you are all set then with your new quiz feature.